What's up my peeps, it is now time for the Extreme Rules prediction game video where I'll be going over my predictions for every single match on the Extreme Rules card. And you guys can go ahead and do the same in the comment section below for a chance to win the prediction game. Simply go ahead, leave your predictions for every single match, and if you get them all right, you'll get a shout out in the next video, which you'll link in the description box. So, I actually won't be giving any shout outs in this video, because nobody actually got every single match right, myself included, in the last prediction game, which was Payback. What I noticed is most people got the Baron Corbin vs. Dolph Ziggler match wrong, and also the Kalisto vs. Ryback match. The Baron Corbin vs. Dolph match, I don't think I saw a single person actually predict Dolph. It just seemed like Baron Corbin was going to win that. And also, to correct myself, last time I was talking like as if Baron Corbin's match with Dolph Ziggler at Payback was his pay-per-view debut. For some reason, the WrestleMania match just wasn't, I guess, in my mind at the time, which was his actual debut. So, just to correct myself there, yeah, that match against Dolph wasn't his pay-per-view debut. But it was, you know, his singles pay-per-view debut. Anyways, Extreme Rules this time around, we've got 8 matches on the card. And also, the card looks a lot better than last year. If you look at last year, the main event, Seth Rollins versus Randy in a steel cage matches. First off, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like steel cage matches are some of the most boring matches out there. They're pretty damn slow, like they're pretty slow paced, and also it just feels like a less exciting Hell in a Cell match. And before anyone goes ahead and says, oh, but steel cage matches were out before Hell in a Cell, I know that. I just mean Hell in a Cell matches are a lot more entertaining. Like if I want to watch a steel cage match, or like a match inside a cage, I'd rather watch an Elimination Chamber match or a Hell in a Cell match over a steel cage match any day. Although this time around with the Asylum match, that actually might make steel cage matches interesting. If this Asylum match turns out to be an actually good match, then I'd want to see the steel cage match evolve or turn into the Asylum match permanently. But I have a feeling they'll keep the steel cage match and also have the Asylum match. I don't think they're going to actually get rid of the steel cage match completely, and I see them going with the Asylum match for Dean Ambrose specifically. Kind of like any Inferno match has to involve Kane, and any Buried Alive match has to involve The Undertaker. I feel this is going to be the Ambrose match, since, you know, he came up with it. And speaking of coming up with match ideas, I have a bunch to talk about when it comes to that Asylum match, and my prediction for that too. So anyways, let's not waste any more time, and let me go ahead and go over my predictions for this year's Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So first off, we've got the kickoff match, which is a rematch between Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin, except this time, it's no DQ. I welcome the stipulation no DQ here, because the match at Payback, it just, to me, was the most boring match on the card. And I know both these guys are capable of, you know, putting on some good matches and entertaining matches. It's just, I don't know, for some reason, the match at Payback, it didn't pique my interest. It didn't do anything for me. Hopefully this one ends up being better. And as far as the winner goes, I'm going with Baron Corbin all the way here. I don't see Dolph picking up the win 2 pay-per-views in a row over Baron Corbin, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of the feud. And then after that, we've got The Miz versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn in a fatal 4-way match for The Miz's Intercontinental Championship. And here, I think The Miz is going to retain, so I'm going with The Miz here. And actually, also, by the way, I think this match is going to be one of the better matches on the card. But if any one of the challengers wins here, I think it's going to be Cesaro. But at the end of the day, I see The Miz retaining the title over any of the challengers actually winning the championship off of him. You know, when it comes to these multi-man matches, triple threat, fatal 4-ways, whatever it is, kayfabe-wise, statistically, they'll go ahead and say that the champion is at a disadvantage. He's got a, I don't know, 33% chance of winning if it's a triple threat match. And, you know, kayfabe-wise, it is true. But what you'll find is most of the time when it's a multi-man match, the heel mostly wins. And in this match, we've got 2 heels, Kevin Owens and The Miz. And like I said, Oftentimes it's the heels winning these multi-man matches because they can take advantage of somebody hitting a finisher on somebody else, throwing that person out the way and then pinning the guy, basically stealing the win. So the two heels here, Kevin Owens, The Miz, you look at both of them. Kevin Owens was just the Intercontinental Champion. They took the title off of him. He won it back and then he lost it at WrestleMania. And The Miz just won the championship. They had Zack win it from Kevin Owens. So that way a face was the champion, so that The Miz could go ahead and win the championship without beating Kevin Owens, another heel. So I don't see them going back and having Kevin Owens win the title from The Miz, and then you'd probably have a rematch between Kevin Owens and The Miz. I don't see that happening, and so for that, I'm going to go with The Miz simply retaining the championship here, and then maybe moving on to a feud with Sami Zayn. Because after this, I'm not sure if we're going to see The Miz versus Cesaro once again, but we're more likely to see The Miz versus Cesaro over The Miz versus Kevin Owens for the title, unless Kevin Owens turns face, which I doubt that'll happen anytime soon. So, I'm going to go with The Miz on this one. And then, moving on, we've got Kalisto versus Rusev for the United States Championship. First off, I love the fact that Rusev has been looking real dominant recently, since winning that Battle Royal. He freaking destroyed Kalisto and Sin Cara at the same time. If you guys missed that SmackDown match, Rusev versus Sin Cara, he was kicking Sin Cara's ass, and then he goes to the outside and he super kicks the back of Kalisto's head, goes back in the ring, and makes Sin Cara tap out. Rusev, it looks like they're going back to the badass, dominant Rusev, which I like. I'm all for it. And when it comes to this match, Kalisto versus Rusev, initially I thought that Rusev only got this #1 contenders match because Ryback, at the moment, we don't know his position, if he's gonna get fired or not, whatever. He's not on TV right now, and I was thinking that maybe Ryback was initially supposed to win that Battle Royal, and they just gave it to Rusev because of the Ryback situation at the moment. And usually when it's a situation like this, not all the time, but most of the time when that person is a replacement or not the original plan, they don't end up winning the championship. But what's been happening since that Battle Royal win, with Rusev looking so dominant, and also something else which I will mention in my Rusev versus Kalisto simulation, makes me think that this might have been the plan after all. And this Sunday, when they face off, I actually think Rusev is going to walk away with the championship. So I'm going to go with Rusev winning the title, and I'll go into more detail on that in my Rusev vs Kalisto match simulation. But yeah, this Sunday you can bet I'm rooting for my match card Rusev to walk away with the US title by putting Kalisto in the camel clutch, breaking his back, making him humble, and then we get the signature Rusev celebration where he shakes his arms up and down and goes, "Yeah!" And that's pretty much it for my US title prediction. And then moving on, we've got the tag team title match. It's the New Day defending their tag team titles against the Vaudevillains. Now, initially, believe it or not, I was actually going to go with the Vaudevillains winning this match. And that was like back at Payback. But then I learned that if the New Day go ahead and retain the tag team titles here, that they're going to become the newest or the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. And so once I learned that, I was like, alright, New Day win here. I mean, I feel like even if they want to make the Vaudevillains the Tag Team Champions, that they could wait until they have a rematch. They could wait for the New Day to win here, become the longest reigning Tag Team Champions, and then at the next pay-per-view or whatever, whenever they want to do it after the New Day gets that accomplishment, they could then have the Vaudevillains win the tag team titles. Although I'm not sure if I want to see the Vaudevillains be the team to beat the New Day for their tag team titles. So I hope that doesn't happen, but of course that's not my decisions to make. So anyways, moving on, we've got Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the Asylum match, and for this one, I'm going with Chris Jericho. I feel like most people are going to go with Dean Ambrose on this one, but I'm pretty confident with going with Y2J here, and I'll let you guys know why in my detailed prediction for that match, the simulation video for that. So, moving on, we've got Charlotte versus Natalya in a submission match with Ric Flair banned from ringside, and if he does get involved, then Charlotte will lose her title. So, the stipulations favor Natalya. Well, actually, not really, because, It is a fair match. It's just the two of them against each other. It's not like Natalya has Brennan in her corner in this match. But I'm going to go with Charlotte retaining here. I just can't see Charlotte losing the title to Natalya. If she's going to lose the title to somebody, I really think it's probably going to be Sasha Banks. Afterwards, we've got a match that should be announced on SmackDown, and that is a Texas Tornado match, which is basically a Tornado tag team match between the Usos and the team of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Club. I'm going to go with the Club on this one, and for the main event, Reigns versus AJ, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns because I can't see Roman Reigns losing the title this soon, and I can't see him losing it to AJ Styles. So, that's it for the prediction game. Now it's time for you guys to give me your predictions in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and with that said, I'm out. See ya.